Welcome. You're listening to Leaders Lounge live and unmuted with Steve Hamilton. Today, so many leaders are feeling stuck, isolated, and uninspired. This podcast will help you master your framework, connect with the community of leaders, and reignite the devotion for what you do. Some of the brightest leaders of today will be joining the conversation, sharing the joys of leadership, their vision of the future, uncovering blind spots and pitfalls, as well as what they do to maintain their footing. If you're looking for candid conversation, this is the podcast for you. Help us by staying connected and subscribe to YouTube as well as SteveHamiltonMinistries.com. Now let's get started.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Leaders Lounge. Welcome to this week's episode of the Leaders Lounge. We're glad to be with you, and we hope that you all are well and that you're ready to wind the week down and get the weekend started. Hey, Tara, Sarah, and Tanya, good to see you all. Hope you all, and as you're coming in, if you like and share and tag and all that good stuff, make sure you subscribe to Steve Hamilton Ministries on our YouTube channel and wherever you may find it. But we're glad to be with you this week. Not going to have a lengthy thought for you tonight, but I wanted to share something that was impressed upon my mind and my spirit the other day. And I said, I know I need to share this with our leaders because so often we keep hesitating. There's a lot of things that are offered to us. There are things that are available to us. And there's a lot of things that have been impressed upon us that we need to do. Oftentimes, we don't move until we have to. We don't do that thing that the Lord showed us a long time ago. But we just wait. We just keep waiting. We find a way to delay it. We have different excuses and reasons that, I couldn't do it. I don't think it's the right time. And oftentimes we keep waiting for the right conditions. There's a saying that talks about those that are sailors. If you wait for the right conditions, you'll never sail. You'll never cast off because you keep waiting for this moment. And often we are just simply delaying walking into our promise. There are things that the Lord told us we were supposed to do. There are things we were supposed to be operating in by now. And we haven't done it yet. We haven't, took that step, forward to move into what God has called us to do. So tonight might be a little bit of a challenge for some of you, or maybe a wake-up call, or maybe just a little nudge to get you to finally just go ahead and do it. It's no sense like, I was I was talking the other day, and I remember some time ago, a month or two ago, when I was talking to Pastor Gerald Haddon about, them coming in and taking the baton from me and taking over the ministry and going into what they have been called to do in this portion of the vineyard. And one of the first things the Lord told me that they would probably do was that they were going to change the name of the church. And so then we kind of like, well, we need to, maybe you should wait on that. And maybe we should kind of, and after a while I told them, look, just go ahead and do it. You're coming in, go ahead and do what you got to do. We're going to we're going to make this transition happen, and it's going to work. It's going to succeed, but there's no sense in kind of pushing it back and waiting a little while because we'll keep waiting for the right moment. And often it's just better to go ahead and, as they say, rip the Band-Aid off and go ahead and get it done. So, of course, it's a process to do that, but you have to start the process. And so often we have been, wondering, oh, wow, I thought you were going to do that years ago. I thought you were going to, or the Lord has shown us something. There are things that I guarantee you that the Lord has shown us as leaders. He's shown us being in a particular place. I remember decades ago going to the late great Bishop Norman L. Wagner's Pentecost in Perspective, PIP conference in Youngstown, Ohio. And I remember Bishop Jakes was preaching, and he said something to us all, but it stuck with me all these years later. And he said, you got to get a vision of what the Lord is calling you to do. You get whatever you see, whatever the Lord is showing you. He said, you got to see that. And we were in high praise, worship, and the Lord was showing me some things. And he said, and then Bishop Jake said something that stuck with me. He said, don't be afraid of what you see. Don't be afraid of what you see. Oftentimes the Lord can give us a glimpse of something, and it seems so big that we put it out of our mind. Oh, that's just crazy. I don't think that could ever happen. But the Lord is incredible about showing you something that can actually and will actually come to pass. And so when you're having these moments where you're approaching it, you're getting close to it, or you're making some headway and getting along getting down the road a bit, then you have to start remembering, okay, yeah, the Lord told me this was going to happen, and I could not be afraid. I shouldn't be afraid. I shouldn't shrink back and say, well, maybe that's not for me. Maybe, I don't know. Or if the Lord's not working the way he worked for other people, you start to doubt, and you start to hesitate. You start to, well, I'll do something else. And many of us are good at kind of diverting our attention and distracting ourselves away from where we're supposed to be going. Well, I'm going to do this for a little while. Oh, I'm going to, you'll say yes to something that's easily attainable. Or you'll say the yes to something that you already have mastered, just something it comes easy to you. But sometimes the Lord is saying, if you really want to go into the promise that I have told you was coming, you have to make some big steps, and you have to make some decisions about where you're going to go. It's just that simple. You have to make a decision to keep moving forward. And sometimes the decision is a dramatic one. Sometimes the decision to walk away from something is a dramatic decision. And we're good at, well, I'll try to keep on doing that. I remember years ago, and where when the Lord really first started the process of getting me to think about a successor, and it was shortly after 2020, and so many dramatic things happened in that year, and so then you start thinking, well, I've been doing this for a long time. And I remember in 2021, I was like, oh, you've been pastoring for 30 30 years, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, 30 years of pastoring. And it's like, ooh, you start thinking, and then it was a process of, okay, how long am I going to keep doing this? And then it dawned on me that, if I wait till, I'm 68, and then I'll be pastoring for 40 years. And And I began to think, is that really is this what I was supposed to do in that time frame, in this age, in this decade, so to speak? And you start to think, well, maybe I should start the process. Praising Brother Durrell, happy birthday again. And start the process of moving myself into my next. And so I started thinking and praying and seeking God. But you have to start thinking, well, I'm not trying to do this forever. Through this process and talking to my friend, Christian Joy Wagner, she said something that has stuck with me. She said, the calling is forever, but the assignment changes. And many leaders don't understand that. You think you get to a certain place and you're done. But there are levels to this, and there are things you have to do. There are other things that you have to move into. And so sometimes what the Lord has shown you, it makes you shrink back for a moment. Oh, maybe I can't do that. So then you have to start saying, and then sometimes you have to have some necessary endings, as my friend Tim Finley Jr. likes to call it, necessary endings. There's some endings that some things have to be shut down, some places you need to leave, and even though the relationship is fine, everything is good, but sometimes you got to leave that place. Sometimes the job is, you've reached a point where you're really uncomfortable, you're really upset, you're going to work mad every day. And the Lord is like, I'm letting this get really uncomfortable, because if you don't get uncomfortable, you're not going to change. If you don't get uncomfortable, you're never going to move. And so he said, well, Pastor, what are you talking about? Because, but so what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Well, I'm waiting for the right conditions. They're never going to be the right conditions. Oh, I'm waiting for the perfect. No, the perfect conditions don't exist. You're going to have to make, and sometimes you're going to make a decision that will upset some people. But it's getting you closer to where you're supposed to be. Let me give you a scripture. It's in Joshua chapter number 18. And in verse number 3. And in the King James Version, it reads like this. And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, how long are ye slack to go possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers has given you? How long are you slack? Hey, Trina, concerning how long are you going? How long? And so the NIV says it very plainly. So Joshua said to the Israelites, how long will you wait before you begin to take possession of the land that the Lord, the God of your ancestors, has given you? He has given you this land. This is the promised land. They were living in this land, and they had been there at least 7 years. A lot of other tribes had gone on, claimed their land. The Lord had told them, they had mapped it out. They had already walked through it and described the land. And there were some people that were content just to be around other tribes. They were content basically occupying the same space that was designated for someone else. Somebody, you better catch that word. Sometimes you're good and comfortable occupying a space that someone else owns. Someone else, this is somebody else's assignment, and you're glad to occupy your little spot on that. Sometimes you're like, well, I'm this job, it's okay, but the bills are getting paid, and I'm good, I'm all right. Even though I'm very uncomfortable, even though my spirit is grieved, the Lord said, how long are you going to be waiting? I've got something else for you. Write that in the comments real quick. He's got something else for me. He's got something else for me. Huh. And there are people that may not understand why you're making the decision you're making. But when the Lord shows you something and he tells you his promises are sure, you have to be able to move when he says move. He's got something else for me. He has something for me. And you got to believe that. You've got to understand that there's more. I should do a session one of these days saying, but wait, there's more. As they say, when they're advertising or selling you something, but wait, there's more. There's more for you. And often over the last several, months now, people have been at, well, what are you going to do? But wait, there's more. There's going to be more. I'm going to be doing stuff. I'm not going to be sitting around just trying to be old. But you have to understand, sometimes you cannot move into your next until you close the door on what you've been comfortable. Sometimes you got to close the door. As long as you keep saying, oh, I got options, you're not going to ever step into it. But Joshua said, how long are you going to be slack? And understand who he was talking to. He was talking to people that had come through the wilderness, come across the Jordan River, battle with Jericho and all these other nations. And the Lord had given them the land. And then it says, now go in and possess it. Go in and claim it. Go in and walk through it. All you have to do is step into it. All you have to do is step into your next. I ain't got no long word for you today, but just write this down for yourself. Step into your next. Step into your next. There's no reason for you to still be waiting. I'm waiting on, what are you waiting on? Time is passing by. I'm ready to step into my next, and you are too. So let this be a kick in the pants, a nudge, push, gentle push in the back. Come on, let's go. Let's move into our next. And some of you right now that are watching me and listening to me, you know that I'm talking to you. You know this is a word from the Lord for you. You know there's some things that you've been putting on the shelf. You've been putting off. You've been doing other stuff. That ain't what you're supposed to be doing. You've been wasting time, delaying it. Oh, I'm gonna work over here with so and so for a while. I'm gonna work over here I'm gonna do this over here for a while. And it's like time keeps going on by. And one of the mistakes we make is we think we have time. You don't know how much time you have. And Joshua just asked them a question. How long are y'all going to be slack? What are you waiting for? How long will you wait? Look at that. How long are you going to wait to go in and possess what God has given you? How long are you going to sit here? It reminds me of the man that was sitting at the pool for 38 years. And he sat there so long, he had an excuse for anybody that talked to him. Jesus goes up and asks him, will you be made whole? Do you want to be well? Do you want to be better? And he says, sir, I don't have anybody to put me in the water when it's troubled, because when I'm stepping in, somebody else steps in ahead of me. They get the blessing. Sounds like some of us. I didn't get to finish school. So, I went through that bad relationship. So, I made some bad money moves back in the day. So now credit's not what it, ain't nobody asked you about that. Jesus did not ask him why he hadn't been in the pool yet. Nobody's asking you why you haven't done it yet. That's irrelevant. What Joshua's saying is, how long y'all gonna wait? How long are you gonna wait? Well, I'm gonna wait till these kids get grown. Wait, kids gonna get grown whether you step into your next or not. Well, I'm going to wait till I got a few more years under my belt. Bless you, Pastor Marcus. I'm going to wait till, wait, what? Well, I'm comfortable. We've been here a long time. I understand that, you know, and sometimes you have to be able to say, you know what, this is what we need to do and where we need to go and where I need to be now. So what are you waiting for? You're waiting for perfect conditions. If you wait for perfect conditions, you'll never sail. Scripture in Proverbs talks about a Song of Solomon or one of those. Ecclesiastes says, if you're waiting for perfect conditions, you'll never plant seed. You will never do it. Oh, it's a little too windy today. Oh, a little too hot today. Oh, a little too cold today. So what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You're waiting for the Lord to thunder out of the sky and tell you to go do it? He's been sending you words. He's been sending you messages. That's why sometimes when you hear certain people preach or teach, or you read certain scriptures, you feel something pulling, like, ah, and it reminds you. Then you try to avoid it and go off into something else. No. So what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? That's the question. And I told you in the video, you got to answer that question. And if you need to, write it down. And then realize that all those excuses are irrelevant. God is able to do what he said, and he will. But you got to step into it. Step into your next. Confidently step into your next. God bless you. I'm going to let you go on that note. But I hope and pray that something sparked you a little bit, stir you up. Let's go. There's more for us. And so let's go get it. Let's go get it in the name of the Lord. All right. I will talk to you all soon. Remember, got a couple of important dates coming up. My celebration, my 35-40 celebration is coming up on May 31st, 3 p.m. right here at Spirit and Life Ministries. I'd love to see you, love to hang out with you for a little bit and just celebrate what God has done for us. So that's on May 31st at 3 p.m. Some of you have said, "Hey, I want to be there. I want to be in there before you preach your last message as pastor." Well, if you want to be here, my last Sunday is going to be a week before that, May 24th. I'll be preaching my last message. I got something planned. Anyway, it's going to be interesting. But May 24th is my last Sunday preaching as lead pastor, senior pastor, Spirit and Life. And then on that following Sunday, the 31st, I'll be having my celebration. Please join me. If you can't join me in person, join us online. Anyway, we're going to be thanking God for what he's done, because he deserves all the glory and all the honor. Bless you, Sister Woods. Love you. And thank God for everybody that's joining us. And we will see you, Lord willing, next week. All right. God bless you. Good night, everybody.